Good day, fellow observers. Today we are going to do a sanitation department test for version 12.5.2. It is going to be a 26-minute drive, 12 miles. Let me activate FSD. Okay, so we are at a parking lot and FSD, okay, so this is a bit of a quick acceleration, but it's slowing down. I mean, it's not continuing to accelerate, but it's fast from 0 to 16 miles an hour. Just want to point that out. So we are making a left here. Okay, good.
Now turn left onto Hempstead Turnpike.
So there were no cars. I think that turn at the stop was straightforward. Okay, so we have a green arrow here, and now we're moving. And in 0.6 miles we are making a right. Okay, now we have a green light as well. So I'm hoping that we're gonna make a lane change soon. Now we are moving, we just crossed a green light and we'll most likely cross this one as well. So this is a case of a flashing yellow. So when FSD passes through here, I don't feel any abrupt stops. So I think that's good. And then we should be making a lane change right about now. Okay, now we're making a lane change.
In 500 feet, turn right onto Meacham Avenue.
So we are making a right
now
here.
Now turn right onto Meacham Avenue.
Okay, good. So we will be here for the next 1.4 miles. Okay, so I felt FSD is slowing down for that crossing pedestrian. And now we continue straight. Okay, so I have to disengage here. It felt like FSD would beat the light. Okay, so I'm being very cautious at the moment. So usually FSD would accelerate a bit, but this time it didn't. But then I didn't also feel that it would stop. So I just pressed the brakes, and as a consequence, this is a disengagement. So I'm accelerating now manually, and now I'm reactivating FSD. So we have 0.4 miles and then we turn left to Dutch Broadway.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Dutch Broadway.
Okay, so we just have a green light and now we're making a left.
Now turn left onto Dutch Broadway.
Okay, so I don't think we'll make it. So I didn't feel like FSD would stop, so I disengage again. So I'm gonna wait for the green light and then I'll activate. So I think I have 2 cases now for this. Alright, so I'm making the turn myself. and then I'll activate FSD right now. Okay, so I'm activated.
In
Now,
500 feet, turn right onto North Corona Avenue.
so we made a lane change here and we have a light. We're waiting for a green for this one. Okay, now we have a green.
Now turn right onto North Corona Avenue.
So we have a right turn on stop here. Okay, so we are gonna make a right. I know that the car behind me honked.
In 500 feet, turn left onto Blakeman Drive.
That said, FSD was doing the mandatory 3-second stop. So as you have observed, the rule is 3 seconds, but on reality, sometimes it's not 3 seconds for drivers.
Now turn left onto Blakeman Drive.
So I have to see if I should disengage here, because the left turn on these kind of situations, sometimes it makes it a bit tricky. And so I would have to observe very carefully here. Maybe there is an opening, so I disengage. Okay, so we have a red light now, so can't move forward. So this is, I think, my third disengagement, and I forgot to drop a message to Tesla. So please be patient with me, guys. I should always do that, but it's taking me some time to incorporate it in the flow. So now I'm making the left turn myself, and I'm activating FSD. Okay.
In 500 feet, take the Southern State Parkway East ramp on the left.
So I'm not sure why it is making a right turn, but I canceled it. So I think that's a human intervention. It activated the right turn signal, but I canceled the signal.
Now take the Southern State Parkway East ramp on the left.
Okay, so now we are trying to merge here. Okay, good merge. And now we're going to the ramp and then merge to Southern State Parkway. Okay, so good thing FSD accelerated because the car behind us merged first, and so we were able to get some space. So it postponed the lane change, and I was about to disengage as well if ever it attempted it. So we are continuing at the rightmost lane for now. And now we're making a lane change one more time. So it's an attempt that is successful. Good. Okay, now we're going to the next lane on the left. Okay, good. That was reasonable, although it's a bit tight. Okay, now we're making one more lane change. Okay, good. Okay, good slowdown here. So I'm seeing ahead there is some slowing down of traffic, and as you can see here, it's an orange. So we'll be slowing down soon. So just a travel update, we are 2.5 miles away from exit 22S, and we will be exiting to Meadowbrook Parkway. Oh, by the way, for our audience who is outside of the United States, so you notice, like I mentioned, 22S. So that means the S there is the direction, so it's going south. So we're going to Meadowbrook Parkway, but it's the southbound Parkway direction. So if it's an N, it's gonna be north, and if it's gonna be an E, east, W for west. It might be straightforward to you and you'll be wondering, like, why is he saying this? But as someone who didn't know before, I think I should just point that out, because it might be for someone who is not yet familiar with the letterings. So we are lane changing to the middle lane. And it seems like FSD is trying to position itself for the eventual...
In 1 mile, take exit 22S on the right onto Meadowbrook Parkway south toward Jones Beach.
eventual right turn. So now we are making an attempt here, and this is going to be a successful one. We have enough space. Good. So we're making a lane change to the
Now take
off-ramp.
exit 22S on the right.
So we just merged to the parkway. Now we're making a lane change to the middle lane. And we have 2.1 miles left. Okay, we're making a lane change again to the pass lane. Good. And okay, I don't get it. We're going back to the middle lane. So we're
In
making
1 mile, take exit M9E on the right onto East Merrick Rd.
So we just made a change to the rightmost lane, and in 1 mile we will be exiting on the right to M9E. Okay, so it's slowing down to 40 miles. I was about to press the accelerator, but I didn't because it gained speed shortly after that. Okay, so we are slowing down here because of a merging vehicle. Okay, we're slowing down a bit for that merging vehicle again. Another vehicle. So we are exiting here. So we are a
Now
bit
take exit M9E on the right.
on a slow side, 39, 40. Okay, so I think that's the speed that FSD does it. So for me, I think it was a bit slow because we're coming off from a fast approach, and then slow down even further. So here we are about to merge, and there's a bit of a traffic here. And we will have some space here. Okay, good.
In 500 feet, turn right.
Then we will be making a right here.
Now turn right.
So,
in 500 feet, your destination will be on the right.
So I will be disengaging now and give my takeaways. Now, this was around a 20-minute drive, and as you have noticed that it was, so I'm just trying to recount from the beginning. So we started off from a parking lot. It was able to move out, and it was an easy turn on stop, and went to the light, and then made a simple left turn, and then went to Meacham and lane changed very right towards Meacham, and then eventually it turned right. So the thing is, it was good up until that point, and then we went to straight to Meacham, and on the left to, what was that called? I forgot the name, but when we were about to make a left, the thing is, FSD kind of want to beat the light in a sense, because I felt that even though it was red, it was still trying to advance. So I disengaged, and then I know that we had 2 occasions of that where it's already a red light and FSD was trying to beat it, and so I had to disengage there. So I'm very on a cautious side at this point of testing. And also earlier I had to disengage when we were making a left, as we are about to go to the Southern State Parkway, because I was not sure if FSD will try to commit to a left turn, but it's already a red light. And then also I had done a manual intervention, human intervention, wherein it made a right turn signal, but it had to go straight and make a left to Southern State Parkway. So I canceled that signal, and then we went to Southern State Parkway. It did lane changes to the rightmost lane, and then exited eventually to Meadowbrook on the right. I also noticed that FSD makes a lane change to the passing lane, but then shortly after it makes a lane change to the middle lane, and I didn't see the need to do that, but I just want to point that out as well. And then on the last few minutes of the trip, approaching here, it stayed on the rightmost lane on Meadowbrook, and it slowed down for the vehicles that were merging to my lane. And I had to be cautious there, because sometimes when we had a case on Wanta for 12.5.1.1 that we had a key food test, I believe, that approaching to the exit out of Wanta, and then there was an approaching vehicle that tries to merge, and FSD suddenly stops. So this one, it didn't really stop, it slowed down, but to me it was reasonable, and then it was able to merge to Merrick after Meadowbrook Park. So those are all my takeaways, and if you notice, I am on the cautious side of testing, just to keep things on the predictable side, because at times I thought that FSD would think this way, but turns out no. So I had to do proactive disengagements just so we could maintain like a way of driving as closely as I would have done it. So those are all my takeaways for this Town of Hempstead Sanitation Department test. And if you find this video helpful or of value, please like and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.